Now, before we start running video number 23, I've got a bit of a disclaimer here. When I got up this morning, I had no idea that I was going to run into a whole bunch of little problems, and it didn't go the way I thought it was gonna. But anyway, here we go. This morning when I was getting up, I was thinking to myself, well, I guess the only thing I've got to do now is put the door on today, and tomorrow and then I thought, there's nothing else left to do. After the door is on, the only thing I want to do is put little feet on the bottom, and that's only going to take about 2 minutes. By the way, these little rubber things, they're left over from something that I didn't use, and they're the kind of rubber that's on the bottom of your laptop, so that it won't slide up if something. They're kind of sticky. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Now, once again, I'm not relying on the slip clutch for the final tightening. I think I mentioned that 2 or 3 times already. Sick of hearing it, I'll bet you. I don't want to be scratching this thing. And the last one. Okay, now this should still all be lined up from when I put it together before I did the wipe on poly thing. Now I haven't taken the protective plastic off of the one side of this yet, and I'm sure hoping that those scratches that I'm seeing are on that plastic and not on the plexiglass. Okay, well, let's take that protective plastic off and see what we've got. I think it's okay. I probably could have cut it 1/16 of an inch more this way. This is 1000 grit. I just want to take the sharp edges off here and still keep it kind of shiny, and I'm hoping that 1000 grit is going to accomplish that. Oh yeah, that's nice. Another setback. I carelessly allowed the sandpaper to touch the surface of the plexiglass. Well, I wonder, can I buff that out? Or am I going to have to cut another piece? Well, this makes life interesting, or exasperating, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it. But I've got a piece of scrap here, and what I've done is I've put scratches on it. And I'm going to just see if I can buff that out, what happens. Well, it seemed to work. I think what I'll do is I'll try it. I'm not going to put it on the wax buff, because what happened was it just put a buildup of wax on there. I suppose I could get that off. But it actually looked quite good. I can't see the scratches at all there right now. Alright, maybe we can save that piece. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right here, only on the other side. I want to be careful now that I don't touch this one. I'm going to kind of go at a bit of an angle. Well, once again, we'll see what happens. Now there's two things I want to mention here. One is really important, and that is that the lathe is turning away from me, not towards me. If I had it turning towards me, there'd be a real risk of the buffer digging into the edge and, throwing that piece back. Now the second thing, I had a real powerful hankering to turn a pen when I was doing that. I got to get this stupid clock done. I do believe we've got it. I didn't think that this was going to work. I just wanted to take a chance, but it actually did. Okay, I'll know for next time. I'm glad I bought this thing now. Well, here's hoping we don't have another stupid mistake going on. I'm going to use CA thick. I've already experimented on the plexiglass. I cleaned the edge here with isopropyl to get my fingerprints off. And, well, here we go. Oh, those are toothpicks, just to keep the plexiglass from going all the way down. I'll put this in. Just want to make sure it's going to be lined up okay. Just tilt this back just a little bit here. Well, I'm guessing about half an hour had passed, maybe not quite, and I was noticing that CA thick, it just was not beginning to thicken. So what I did was, I took some accelerator here on a brush and I just ran the brush quickly up the edge. And yeah, that seemed to work. Well, I did test it first on that piece of scrap. I just wanted to make sure that the accelerator wasn't going to dissolve the plexiglass, but it didn't affect it at all. No more than the isopropyl did. Well, clearly I'm not going to be done today. Guess when I stood it up, the CA thick was still runny enough that it ran out, and it glued the corner of my clock to the famous green towel, which is getting worse and worse. And that means I'm going to have to very carefully get this off of there and sand this down very carefully and refinish it. Like I say, I'm not going to be done today. Yeah, what can I say?